AppalachiaTCG podcast. It's your host, Just Take Three, Anthony Tony Carty, and your host and producer, Bigjohn Howard. And we're here to talk about Magic the Gathering and trading card games. I don't know what episode this is currently. We have done a lot. So there's been a lot going on. But today we're going to talk about like altars. We're going to talk about the Duskmourn set release. We're going to talk about the Secret Lairs coming up. I'm going to talk about us starting a small business with AppalachiaTCG, and there's all kinds of stuff. I'm sure we'll just spitball everything here. Tony, what you been doing? I know you haven't been making videos as much since we last made a podcast. It's been a busy 3 weeks. It's been crazy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's been a rough. This has been a rough month.
It has been a rough month. I'm with you 100%.
Since I had car problems, and I guess just a little being down because of personal issues and stuff like that. So hopefully I can get back making videos.
I told you there'll come a time you can knock them out, and then all of a sudden something will hit. It's even hit me, but that's because I've been trying to start a little small business since I think we was just starting. I was talking about starting it, right? Our last podcast. Well, it's been almost a month since then, and it has been full-blown force of trying to get this thing off the ground. It has been crazy.
Has it been easy?
It has not been easy. Well, when you got a full-time job, and then, you got kids, and, if you got a girlfriend or a wife or stuff, you got other responsibilities. But then, I've been getting off work, my full-time job, going down to the farmhouse in AppalachiaTCG now. That's where it's located. And working there, pricing stuff, just helping out the farmhouse too. Because, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I've been making signs. I've been buying signs. I've been putting up shelves. I've been marketing. I've been, it's been a full-time thing with, only so many hours within the day.
Yeah.
It has been a struggle. And I have spent a lot of money. I've spent a lot of time emailing. I spent a lot of time making photos. I've took 1 billion photos trying to get. So I did get the first distributor that started playing, come on board was Southern Hobby, but they wouldn't sell me Magic the Gathering or Flesh and Blood, which is what we're kind of focusing on, is Magic and Flesh and Blood. But they would sell me Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. So I guess I don't know what you got to do for distributors, but they've been good. Like, actually talking to Southern Hobby on the phone helped a lot what they said I needed to do. So that first 2 weeks, they told me kind of what I needed to do more, and I started doing that more. And I just got a good email just 5 minutes ago from the Flesh and Blood organized play. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So the next step is I don't know if I can accomplish the Wizards stuff. I don't know if it's possible because they don't like hybrid setups whatsoever, but we will see. Now, I talked to another distributor, PhD Games, and I've already talked to them on the phone, and he assured me, since, I talked to them after the fact to talk to Southern Hobby because you kind of want to have one or two distributors to work with because some distributors might not have some, whatever. They assured me, like I said, just go check out the Google business page, AppalachiaTCG, and let me know what you think. And he said I shouldn't have a problem selling Magic. So I don't know. I haven't heard from them this week yet. But this is the start of a new week when we're podcasting this. So.
Oh, yeah.
It has been an adventure. I have learned a lot. That is for sure. I don't know if I had known what I had to know right now, if I would have done all this, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. And we'll continue. We'll come back to this after that, but we'll go back to what have you been doing. We'll cut back to that at the end of the podcast.
Oh yeah. What have I been doing?
Yeah.
Basically, was trying to get my car fixed. Finally, it's done. It takes a garage to do it.
Yeah. Garages are expensive.
Well, I mean, it could have been more. It could have been a lot more, but we took it to a good garage and it was. I would say it was just annoying.
Yeah.
But now I tell you what was hard to get was the tow truck. The tow truck was
Really
the pain in the butt.
Huh.
It was awful.
That's the whole problem these days. Is you almost gotta have like $500 sitting around just in case an emergency like that happens.
Oh yeah, and
That's hard to do.
so I mean, but I can't complain really. I mean, it just took 3 weeks since my car went down to get it back up and going. But it runs better than what it did when it went down. So
Yeah.
so there must have been some really bad issues going on.
That's rough. That's rough.
But mental health too. I've been dealing with the mental health of 13 years ago. I lost my dad.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that kind of put me in a bad spot.
That will.
And then my car done what it done. I'm gonna try to start doing more videos back.
Yeah, I mean, I've struggled with getting out videos too, but like I said, I've been just so much. I had my whole Friday night and Saturday night planned to do more business side of stuff, like Friday night, Saturday morning, all morning, and then my son wanted to come stay with me, and then like that just threw off the whole weekend pretty much of getting extra stuff done.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, mental health is a real thing. So I mean, people need, and that's one reason I like Magic the Gathering is, I lost my job with Continental or Joy, as we knew it. I started watching YouTube videos on Magic during that time, but I would never buy none of it. There for a long time.
Yeah.
And eventually, I just broke over during 2016 when Kaladesh came out.
Yeah.
And was trying to learn to play then, and then we didn't have this little group around us.
Nope.
So,
it's kind of amazing where we start. It was like 2 years ago. I write about it, how everything has changed since I've moved back to Magoffin County. We decided, like, I wasn't even in, like, I was in the Magic a little bit. I've been playing Arena still.
Yeah.
Been playing Arena, and I'd played Magic the Gathering online. I never was I never did have a big Magic the Gathering collection though. Like I had like a deck maybe, and I might have had some of my old cards from back then, but I never did get the card because like nobody ever played in person anywhere that I knew. Yeah. And then that one day we was just like, let's do this. I was like, let's get into Magic. So we went to page 3 and they're in Pikeville, and and that kind of started this whole thing. That one trip.
I actually got to play.
I mean, it's just so crazy how people outside of Magoffin County and Eastern Kentucky probably think like Magic's this big thing, but like it's so niche around here. It really is. Because I mean, I think back to when we went, and the guy that helped us get started back in the Magic is the same guy that owns East Kentucky Cards and Collectibles now, who we partner up with and do stuff with. It's just crazy to me. Like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, he was working at page 3 for somebody else. Now he has his own business there in Betsy Lane. And now I call AppalachiaTCG a mini card shop, because that's basically what it is. It's not a full-on one.
And you've got a good setup at the farmhouse on that.
Yeah, everybody's loving it. What's your honest opinions of it? You think it's a good setup? Everybody seems to really enjoy it. I know it's not ideal like you would think, but I think it's almost perfect for the size that Magoffin County is.
I think when you get the green light for Magic, because I know you're a Flesh and Blood player too.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get that green light for Magic and you can start carrying maybe pre-built decks, that's when I would think it would be better. Because it's hard to tell people, and this is, I talk to a few people every other day about Magic, and then it's really weird. They ask me, they go, what should I buy? And
that is a hard question for Magic the Gathering. It really is.
And I mean, I like Commander, and we've done podcasts on that.
Oh yeah, we've talked Commander to death.
But I wouldn't recommend it for a new player. But if they want to sit down and play, it is Commander or nothing. So
that seems the way it's the way it feels anyway. And I don't know. I don't know. Me, you, and Alex, since we're the Magic the Gathering players. And I don't know, probably Ron, he seems like pretty knowledgeable. Just our Magic people, what do they really want to do? Because I really don't think Commander is going to be the healthy thing to make tournaments and run stuff with. I just don't.
I don't think you can actually do tournaments with Commander in our local group.
Yeah, I don't think it's I don't think it's good for us. That's just me spitballing now. I think it's fun for us to get together and play Commander, but I don't think it's a healthy growth either.
If you're not willing, that one we played the last night. I mean, he told me his deck he had over $1,000 in.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you telling a new person, and I'm still focused on new players. Trying to help them if they ask questions.
That's kind of where we're going to have to do is get new players because there's not any. More people are like interested in trying Flesh and Blood because it's a smaller game, it's newer, and like people are interested in trying something different than Magic.
But when you're talking about, you got to invest $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people has $1,000.
I actually want to learn how to play Pokemon too, and I'm trying my best to want to play Yu-Gi-Oh, but I just can't. I keep looking at the cards. I'm just like, some of this card art is awesome, but I don't like. There's the big numbers really throw me off. It really does.
No, if I was want to look at a new card game, I would look at Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z is good too. I played it a little bit online.
I love watching Dragon Ball. I mean, one of my favorite animes.
Yeah, I plan on trying to learn Pokemon. I actually think it's a decent card game after seeing it a few times. I've played the online, like Pokemon TCG online. I've played it. It was okay, but I like in-person stuff. Like, I think that's the funnest. Yeah. That's the way cards are meant to be played. It's good for online stuff to practice and get better. But you want to play in person, like that's the whole thing, social and meeting people and being friends and stuff like that. That's the fun part about the card games.
But now, my focus with the group, what I like to do is new players. But it's hard to tell a new player what to buy. It really is, because especially when you're talking about Magic and and or Flesh and Blood. I mean, there's similar concepts in both, but in Flesh and Blood, in that case, you have to worry about what hero the person will like.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That was the biggest struggle with me, is trying to find a hero, because I thought I'd like a ranger and I hated it. And then I tried a ninja and I'd get gut stomped, and I almost quit. Like after I played the ninja a few times, I really did. And I was just like, I'm not really enjoying this. Then I played a brute. That was pretty fun. Then I played warrior, and warrior was just like, I love warrior. But now I've got a little better at the game too. I understand it more, so I can kind of pick up just about any hero and like understand what the concept of that hero's doing. Like after you learn like the hero abilities and the weapons is what you kind of want to do the thing every time, and it just makes more sense. So I'm glad I stuck with the game. It's been rewarding to learn how to play Flesh and Blood. But I wish me and you, we love Pauper. Pauper is my favorite format in any card game. Like playing Pauper in Magic the Gathering is awesome. Like it is the funnest way to play any card game. Flesh and Blood, all of it. Commander, I think Pauper is the best. But that's just me. Me and you love Pauper, but we can't seem to get anybody else on board. So
Alex just told me today he would like to play some Pauper.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's the trouble. Especially, we get newer players coming in. And the group has been growing.
Yes. It has been going. I don't know what's been going on. I don't know if it's because I started the store page and I boosted a few things promoting the group because it's connected kind of now. I do the business side on the store page, but the group is still ran by everybody else, including me. But I don't know what's going on. It's almost 200 people. It's getting closer. I'm just like, what is going on? This started as a very small group. It is 200 people now almost.
And but when you're talking about Pauper, that brings up the biggest. There's two formats in Magic I wouldn't recommend a new player to touch. And Pauper's one, and Commander's the second. I would not recommend them two for new players.
I think Paupers are good for new players because you ain't got to worry about crazy rares.
Well,
and Planeswalkers, I feel like it's still like the old school Magic, so maybe that's why I just think it's easier.
But how Pauper is, it is a true competitive format.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And then there's nothing casual about Pauper.
Mm-mm.
So that's the downside of Pauper. But people like to say, "Oh, I'm playing Commander casual."
To this day, what is the day? 9/22/2024. Bigjohn at the Smango. I'm going to say it right here. I have still yet to play a casual Commander game. It doesn't exist. It does not exist. You hear that, Internet? It doesn't exist. Casual Commander does not exist.
No, you get people shows up with $1,000 decks and curve something.
No, it doesn't exist. Quit pretending it exists. It is not a casual format. The only way it's casual is if the casuality of Commander is just getting around and socializing. There's no casual in that game. I don't care what anybody says at this point.
Yeah, Professor.
Many Magic the Gathering players. Many Magic the Gathering players think that Commander is a casual format. It's not.
No, it's starting to. I think if you was going to play just pre-cons only.
Yeah, that'd be the only way. Some pre-cons are crazy though.
Yeah.
I think I guarantee Commander probably back in 2000. What did it start 2011? Before it became they started printing. It probably was a very casual format because nobody really took it serious. But the problem with Commander is people are trying to play it like a competitive format now, and they're leaving all the 60 card formats to go play Commander competitively for God knows why.
I don't know. I like Commander. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's fun, but to this day.
But now when you're
Internet. Many Magic the Gathering players says it's casual, and it's not. Go ahead.
Now when you're looking at some of the top decks, and you're looking at $1,000 and plus to play something supposed to be casual, it's not. And the only reason I would say Pauper, I wouldn't recommend Pauper for a new player, is the competitive side. Because you can't learn and being swung everything but the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
To learn the game.
Well, what is the answer to that then, though? What, like, do you just get a jumpstart deck and play, or a dual deck? Modern, Pioneer? I would say, honestly, Pioneer's probably... It's probably the best, like, just kitchen table Magic. Just get together with your friends and just play. Like we did. I think that was fun when me, you, and Alex, Trivial Encounters, went down to page 3 and we just made a bunch of bulk decks. I thought that was fun.
Oh yeah, that was a good experience too. I mean, what was it, $5?
Yeah, we spent $5 and we made some fun decks.
I mean,
we'll have to do that again. I actually probably had the bulk at this point to do it.
But now, when I think truthfully, and this is what I was going to do on a video next week or two, but I was going to do my wish video of what I would wish Wizard of the Coast would do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just one of them. I would just like to see them to come out with some other
they need they used to do that. I don't know what they've got away from. They used to bring out like Pioneer decks and.
Well, at one time they had a standard decks.
Mm-hmm. I thought so.
And I mean, where we've done a little sublimation and stuff. I mean, I can do some rough calculations on how much the stuff costs is for, especially when they're printing millions of cards. And
they probably print the cards for like $1, if that.
I say truthfully, I say you're looking at about a nickel a card. A nickel from the card stock to the ink.
Yeah.
But that's not the biggest cost. That's pennies on the dollar. The problem with Wizards of the Coast has, and I guarantee you that's what it is licensing. Getting all that stuff.
Well, the universe is Beyond. I don't know. They've killed it with that. Beyond, it's popular.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really am kind of worried about where Magic the Gathering is going, because I thought, like, if I got that Bloomburrow booster box and, gave every back, like, nowhere in McGoffin County can you buy Magic sealed single booster packs anywhere. Like, Bloomburrow was the latest, greatest set, and I got a box at cost to try to sell to McGoffin County, and, like, I thought, like, not including people in our group, but I thought, like, people would get word of it and be like, I'm going to go buy a pack down there just because I can buy Magic down there, and it's not really sold at all. I don't know if that's because Bloomburrow's not really, like, I guess it sold well, but then now whenever I got the box, it's kind of died, though.
Yeah, I will.
And that worries me. It's like, how long am I going to have this box now? Imagine if I would have bought like 5 boxes and they just sat there for a year and a half.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with Magic, is you want to sit on old stock.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I got shelves now, too. So if I buy a box and don't sell, it's just going to sit over on the shelf for a while, a couple years.
But, and that always could work in your advantage, too, because that box will eventually go up.
Yeah, usually the boxes do appreciate, so that is good. But they usually have a big dump, though. They usually go, it's like when an initial release, yeah. So I'm thinking unless you get Magic whenever it's soon released, like it's right here, it's big. But after like a week or two, it goes, and nobody cares about it again. Then it'll come like a year later, some other set. I'll bring up a card that's in that set. You can only get in that set that's not printed anymore, and it'll go whoop.
Yeah. Now that's retail 101.
Yeah. It's usually how it's going.
But I'm just so. The only thing out of the Bloomburrow I wanted was all 4 of the Commander decks.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of people want
really
the commander decks, and
there wasn't no one card I wanted to chase out of just the regular set. Everything I wanted was in the pre-built decks anyway. And I've yet to see any precons in Walmart or anywhere where I've been lately. I've not seen the first one. And I ain't been to the card store. I mean, East Kentucky, in almost a month.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was pretty cool watching one of the new guys ask for store credit. I didn't know how to handle it because I've never dealt with that before. And he's like, will you buy these cards off me just for store credit? And I was like, oh, sure. What do you want? And he's like, I just want card sleeves. I was like, the cards? And I was like, yeah, that's a good trade.
Oh, yeah.
So I think, I don't know. I'm still like, I can't believe I've done this a little bit. It's crazy to me. But let's talk about altars. You wanted to bring up altars in this podcast. So you probably know more about them than I do. I know what they are. So just explain what they are, why people even do it, and what's some of the favorite ones.
Dude, I should have.
Are they legal? Are they actually legal to play with?
Well, I know an altar is on a real card with the real text. They just add the art to the card.
Yeah. Wouldn't that technically be considered a marked card, though? But I know, so you put sleeves on it, you can't really tell if everything's in the back, so it shouldn't matter, but you still have wrote on that card, so it technically would be marked, right? I don't know about the legality of the altars at all.
I don't think that wouldn't matter, because if really you can't play in a professional tournament without a card sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And they will check your sleeves too, if they're dinged, if they're scratched, if they got some white powder on them. You have to replace them anyway.
I've heard of somebody turned in a deck list and they didn't have just one of the cards in the deck list, and they got like scrapped from the whole tournament. Like they was one card off or something like that, and they wasn't allowed to play. So I couldn't see people being able to use altars in competitive like the PDQs or whatever. I don't see that happening. I don't know. I don't know if it happens with Flesh and Blood or anything else, but I think you have to play with the real cards unaltered. Maybe. I don't know.
I think when it really comes down to altar cards is really for the collector's side only. I would really argue. I mean, I've looked online, I've looked on eBay, and looking at some of these altars, and they're just straight out gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. They are cool. I've seen some of them. I see a lot of them on Twitter.
But when you're really looking at altars, I mean, and you find that one artist is doing something amazing on it, you know, what more you want, you know? And I would just buy that, and it would just go in my top binder or my top loader binder. It would be something I would just keep. Mm-hmm. And some of them get expensive quick.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think it really matters on the art who does it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the big deal there. And so technically, it's like you're chasing artists like they're doing a special print or a painting or something.
And it's not like there's like a billion of them too. There's just like one or two probably. I don't imagine you could do the same altered art every time.
Well, no. I mean, there'd be, and they hand paint it too.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be hard to recreate that. perfectly.
So, each brush stroke might be shorter. I mean, it would never be identical copy.
Mm-hmm.
For it, and I think that's what the appeal was to me. Oh, that's what got me. I mean, I ain't bought none. I can't afford any of them. What I've seen, the ones I would want, they're like $200 and $300.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just some gorgeous ones. I seen the Soul Ring, the one. It was awesome.
Yeah, I've seen some of those too. They're pretty cool.
What else? What was the Mana? No, it wasn't a Mana.
Mana Crypt?
It was a planeswalker. It was a planeswalker, and they had it look like it was jumping out of the torch.
Some of them look awesome. They remind me of those raised fulls from the Bloomburrow set, like a bunch of the altars do. Like they kind of jump off the page. If you get one of those raised fulls, they're pretty sweet.
I didn't even think of that. I could see that now.
That's what it reminds me of, like the altars. That's what they kind of look like, is the raised fulls I've seen in Bloomburrow.
I'm always going to be a collector.
Yeah.
First, that's how I got into Magic originally, was to collect.
Yep.
And so now I'm like a collector / player, but I can find myself, I'm like, I want to chase that niche.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these altars is amazing. It's like the secret layer, just on a very small scale.
Well, I know my sword collection last night went up. I bought some swords. Whew, it was expensive. Some of them were, some of them wasn't. But yeah, let's altars are cool. Is there anything else you want to add to that?
No, not really. I mean, that side, I mean, I've always been a collector. So, and I got into Magic over the art anyway. So, besides that, really, no.
Yeah. I would say I'm a Magic collector first, too, than a player, but I do play. I really wish I liked Commander better. It's okay. I'm definitely a flesh and blood player before a collector in that, though. I'd rather play it than to collect it. It's got Flesh Blood has cool art. But anyway, let's move on to the Duskmourn set release. It just released this weekend. They had a crazy pre-release. It's apparently done better than Bloomburrow some magical way. Now, much longer will it do better than Bloomburrow? I don't know. I think set fatigue is happening again, though. It's just so much comes out. It is impossible to keep up with. It literally feels like I just opened. I think it was last week. I just opened my first collector booster for Bloomburrow, and it's gone. It's like Bloomburrow's there's no more Bloomburrow now. Like nobody cares about Bloomburrow all of a sudden.
Well, I mean, what I got to say about that is like Wilds of Eldraine.
I love Wilds of Eldraine. I'm the distributor. I'm gonna buy so many boxes of Wilds of Eldraine. It's gonna be stupid because I love that set and it has so many good cards in it. I think everybody's sleeping on Wilds of Eldraine, and I'm gonna buy the living crap out of it.
I didn't buy the first. No, I didn't buy the first pack. I've yet to buy the first pack of Wilds of Eldraine.
I love Wilds of Eldraine, man. That was such a good set.
Well, and that's what I was about to say was, now I have looked at Wilds of Eldraine a little more closer, and there's a bunch of them cards I would like to get.
So many good cards. The anime cards are sick. It has so many cards you need for Commander to be competitive because it's not casual. I'm just going to quit calling it casual. It's not. I'm just going to call it competitive Commander. That's what it is. You play it to win. But it has so many good Commander cards in there.
Bloodwood Season was one. What was that? The tree, and it had a gate on it. Door. It is a big card too.
You get doubling season in that pre-con of Bloomburrow, one of the raccoon one, the animated army.
Really?
Doubling season comes in it.
See, that's why I need to get. You need to get where I can get the.
I'll get it. I think it's getting ready to happen. I'm supposed to have the onboarding call tomorrow for Flesh and Blood. So if I get Flesh and Blood, they said if I get Flesh and Blood, I should be able to buy Magic too. Now running a tournament is probably going to be way different.
Yeah, but now when that's like I was saying, Wilds of Eldraine, I didn't buy the first. I didn't buy the first one of Brothers War, packs. And out of them two sets right now.
I don't know what's going on with my camera. There it goes. I'm back somehow.
But out of them two sets, I realized I missed out on so many good cards was in them sets.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there makes my point is, while you got Brothers War, that's been almost 2 years.
I love Brothers War too. Brothers War has an awesome story, and I know a lot of people don't care about the story of Magic, but I don't even care about a lot of it. But that Brothers War story arc is awesome. I love hearing about the Might Stone and the Weak Stone. I just think it's a cool story. It's had comic books and everything over it. I think the artifacts in it's awesome. I just love that. I love artifacts. And I don't know why I don't have like an artifact deck or something, but like the whole story is just cool to me.
When you talk about bind fatigue and set fatigue and all that, you can set back. You don't have to take every set.
Mm-hmm.
Because it ain't like the early 90s and it ain't like the early 2000s where if you didn't get it when it first came up, it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't the internet, really. You can go log on and
have packs. It's starting to go back to that a little bit, I think. I don't think they're printing as much. I don't think they're printing as much as the collector boosters, for sure. Because look how much the Lord of the Rings collector booster is now. It's crazy. You can't even find the play boosters of it anymore either. Without paying like a premium. You're playing at a premium price now.
Well, that was premium sets, too.
It was.
So, but they're makeshift, like Wilds of Eldraine, Brother War. Them is main set.
Mm-hmm.
And, you should be able to go to LGS. And
yeah, they should have it.
It should be on the shelf. Now, your special stuff, like Doctor Who, I love to have all four of them pre-cons. And Lord of the Rings and all that stuff, them was exclusive. Them's high-end stuff. And when they're gone, they're going to be gone. And I think if you're looking at it from a business, I would like to truthfully have 2 sets of Doctor Who and 2 sets for Lord of the Rings.
That's actually what I got is Doctor Who Commander. It's in my cart. They have to get approved to sell it to me from PhD. So I have all 4 of those coming. So hopefully, hopefully we'll see.
I would want all 4 of them, but I think that is a set you don't want to try to sell immediately.
Yeah.
I think that's something you would want to set on. Because you give that 5 years, those
guys will appreciate over time for sure.
And that's why I would like to have 2 cases of each one, Lord of the Rings and Doctor Who, just to keep one sealed.
Yep.
And do not touch it. And then I would have 4 I could just open and play.
But yeah, let's talk about Dustmourne a little bit. It looks like an 80s horror set. That's what the vibe I get from it.
I ain't really looked at it.
It looks like 80s horror, like it's got the Chainsaw Massacre, it's got like evil dolls, and it looks something straight out of the 80s. I was looking for Freddy and Jason, but they never did show up, from what I could tell.
I'll be honest with you. I was hoping not to like what I've seen, but they had to pull a slick one with Wizard of the Coast, and they had to pull a certain artist who done Goosebumps.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you do that? Because them 6 cards is amazing. They are. They're just amazing.
Then they got the secret layer. The secret layers have been on fire for like the last month. Or the last 2 months. It's just been bangers after bangers. It's been ridiculous. So the supplement Dustmorn and the horror going on. Tell everybody what they're coming out with.
Ghostbusters and Chucky.
Isn't that crazy? Chucky. That's why I say it's an 80s theme, and I'm like, I don't know. Is the player base of Magic that old now? Because the 80s have been almost 50 years ago. It's getting closer and closer to 80 years ago or 50 years ago.
I mean, I love the Ghostbusters.
You gotta think we're 90s kids, and we're getting close to 40.
And I was never one for child play.
Yeah.
I
always thought he was funny.
I didn't. I thought it was stupid. I just really didn't like it. I don't think I was scared of Chucky.
Chucky never did scare me. Jason scared me a little bit.
Jason.
When I was growing up, anyway. Yeah, Jason scared me to death when I was little.
I had all
Texas Chainsaw Massacre never really scared me, though.
No. That was on a true story, but no, that didn't really scare me. That was brutal.
Yeah, it was brutal.
But Jason, I never. I always loved Jason. I know.
Freddy Krueger used to scare me a little bit too.
Oh, now that will scare me. I mean,
Freddy Krueger was pretty scary.
I mean, he goes after you in your dreams.
Yeah, that's what always scared me. But then you had that Freddy versus Jason. It was like watching a superhero movie or something. It was awesome.
Yeah, that was.
I was also older. We like in high school when that come out, and that was just cool then. But yeah, you scary movies. They scare you to death when you're a kid. You ain't even supposed to watch them, but they scare you to death. Like, that's probably why you don't have to watch them.
But it really hurt me when they done Jason X.
Yeah.
When he went to space.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was stupid. It's the worst.
Jason got Friday the 13th got bad when he went to that Manhattan. It was kind of stupid after that, wasn't it?
Oh, New York.
Yeah,
over New York.
Yeah, that was like everybody had enough of it.
And then the last one was actually Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, then the space one, right?
Yeah, that space one sucked. I mean, I was so heartbroken because Jason was my hero in that world, in the horror world. I mean, I love Jason. I had every VHS.
Yeah, I remember that. You had a lot of them. Apparently, VHSs are coming back somehow.
But
some of the old 80s and 70s cartoons and stuff, people are collecting VHS tapes.
But Wesley, my younger cousin, decided him and one of his buddies thought it would be a good idea to break my VHSs. So busted all 10 movies. And they was collectors. They was original.
Oh, yeah.
And didn't even get a thank you or a sorry, or nothing. That was just one of them deals was you shouldn't have loaned every one of them to.
Yeah. Yep. That's how it goes.
And that comes from his mom. But, that's a little bit of topic.
I feel like you still have some resentment there, Tony.
I probably need to talk to somebody.
You need to talk to a therapist over that one. I think it still bothers you.
Yeah, I mean, it just eats at me. Yeah. But I've always been a collector.
I know we have always we have collected since we was in grade school, I believe.
I've always collected movies.
I don't know how I didn't. I don't know if it was where Robert, my older cousin, showed us Magic, and then Pokemon come out after it. And I just thought it was the dumbest thing I ever seen in my life. And I was like, why in the world would anybody play this game when you can play Magic? And I never did collect. I never did open a pack of Pokemon cards. I never did play the Game Boy games or nothing.
I can't say that.
I don't know. I don't know what. I just never done it. Like I was just in the Magic, and then I didn't play a lot of card games in school. Like I mostly played sports and Halo. Then when did I pick up Magic? I picked up Magic again in college a little bit. I started playing Magic Together online in college. I remember that because I'd play the fire out of it. Then the tablet games come out of Magic. You remember the tablet, like the iPad, and then they had like a PlayStation version of Magic, but you never could customize your decks or anything. Then they had the other Magic that come out that was supposed to be before Arena. What was it called? It was big. Because Magic Together Online was so, like the UI and everything was so bad to play. It still kind of is, but it's got a lot better. But then Arena come out, and it's supposed to, like Arena's been gangbusters. Like they finally figured out how to do online, and they make it pretty. But it's still, like, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but Magic the Gathering Arena, so I finally figured out what the... what is it called? It basically gives you 5 mulligans before it gives you an actually hand or something, is what it technically does. That's why everybody always has, when you're playing best of one or just whatever, you almost get your best hand every time you play the game.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, everybody always has Shieldred coming. Like it's like they never miss that. That doesn't happen in real life ever with Magic. Like you don't. Sometimes you don't get any cards. Like it just,
Oh yeah.
And so online still has that feeling more. Arena doesn't because it has. I forget what it's called now, but
yeah, they put a curve in it.
They make it curve out for just because. I don't know why they do that, but they do. They make it curve out for you every game you play.
Yeah.
Well, it's like why you get Shieldreds all the time. Like it's like they never like you play and you're like, how do they hit a Shieldred every single time they play this game? I don't understand it. Then that's why it's like they're mulligan like 5 times before they get their first hand, but it's technically not a mulligan because you get the mulligan if you want a different hand. But they kind of do that mulligan like it's like. They give you 5 draws, it gives you the best draw or something.
I mean, my favorite part right now about the whole secret layer side, to be truthful, it really just scratches the itch of that's collecting. Yeah. For me. And I think we both started off collecting more and what we played when we started back in, because 2016 I played a game or two with my wife and we really didn't know what we were doing. And I had people who was going to teach me and they just bailed on me. Besides that, but I've always was a collector in my budget. And so when I would come back this last time, it was just like, I just want to be a collector, and didn't know nothing about secret layers, and I didn't know nothing about.
Listen, Tony, I just wanted to be a collector too, but here I am running a mini card store. How did that happen?
Well,
I don't like.
Figure you can open products and get the card you want.
Yeah. Like I never planned to really do this ever, and it's just I feel like it's what people kind of want though. Like you get that feel like people want a little something to get behind around here. That's what that's what I feel. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know, but I feel like people's really enjoying it.
Well, I mean, there ain't a decent place in McGoffin to buy Pokemon.
Oh, that Pokemon is sold game like it's gone. Like I put it on the shelf, it's gone. Like it didn't even last a week.
The dollar stores carry some Pokemon cards.
They carry the old sets, and they're like those sleeved, and nobody really likes that's an actual collector. They really don't like buying single packs. They like buying booster boxes. You can't buy booster boxes at the dollar store.
Well, even some of the dollar store cards is not full packs either.
Mm-hmm.
I bought several of them was just 3-card packs, and I paid $1 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think that hurt the dollar store with the Pokemon is people they go in and a lot of grandmas, a lot of parents didn't know what they was buying. Say, oh, it's $1. I'll grab 4 or 5 of them, and they barely get the same amount of cards as what they would have out of a real pack.
Yeah.
So I think it hurt. I think the 3-card packs hurt in the dollar store.
Yeah, the dollar store. I've hit good cards out of the dollar store packs before, but they're overpriced too. Like they are. They're like $1 or $2 overpriced, and you know they're there just so you can open. Like there's nowhere to play in the dollar store. But yeah, you don't even get the latest sets usually at the dollar stores around here. Like the dollar stores do carry Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, but they're not the best sets. But guess what? AppalachiaTCG does. They carry Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and Flesh and Blood at the moment. Going to try to get some basketball cards too, from football or baseball. I don't know if anybody collects football. I'm sure they do.
I know the dollar stores got.
They got baseball. It's not good baseball ones though. Like they carry old stuff.
I know. No, I mean, what do you think about the new Secret Layers?
I think they're awesome. Like I think they're coming out too much though. I think. I felt like Secret Layers was supposed to be special, and now they're kind of printing them every month. Like, it's supposed to be like a secret layer drop. Everybody's like, it's a secret, you know, and like, it ain't much of a secret, and everybody gets it. I mean, I hope everybody gets it that wants it, like they should. But it's like, it feels like they're just, they're teaming up with all these big franchises and IPs, and they're printing stuff like crazy. Like, oh, it's going to be so weird having Spider-Man and then, Cloud from Final Fantasy VII and Magic the Gathering here soon.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Spider-Man, Iron Man, the Hulk, all that's going to be like a whole universes beyond. Then you got to have Final Fantasy, then whatever else they team up with, who knows? Like they're teamed up with all these IPs that's just going crazy. I find it funny that Final Fantasy, I can buy Final Fantasy, the trading card game. Nobody really carries it. They have their own trading card game, but then they're going to team up with Magic the Gathering. But Lord of the Rings has their own trading card game, so.
Yeah. I think that's what is interesting with the whole Ghostbusters. I really didn't see that.
Well, they got this whole like 80s theme going on with Dustmorn, so I was like, yep, there we go. And Ghostbusters has kind of got popular again with the new movies. They've been pretty good.
Yeah. I like that the all-women Ghostbuster.
I hated that one.
A lot of people
hated that one. That's the worst movie.
I thought it was pretty good.
I hated that movie so much. I tried to watch it twice. Tried to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I was just like, this. I couldn't watch it. It wasn't for me.
I'm a big Ghostbuster fan too.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like, but this is what I don't understand about it. That was good. I thought it was good. I liked it. It didn't feel like they was ripping off the first Ghostbuster. Technically they was, but technically they did, and it just felt unique. And it's like they done that one movie. They did not do another one like that. They come back and they had a whole new cast.
I like the last two. They've been really good. They've been really good movies.
Yeah, the last two was really good.
Really good movies.
And I just thought that was a bummer. I mean, it was like, you had something I liked, and it was funny.
It had some funny parts in it, but I don't know. I've watched a lot of those female actors in like the other movies that they've played in. They've been hilarious, but I don't know what the movie just felt weird to me. But you liked it, so I don't know.
I mean, I did, and I can honestly say that, but it just, they had something going, and then they just like, no, we didn't really like it after they done it, and they just like threw it away.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm kind of a little bummed on that. I like to see where they would have went. But it can't be no worse than Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. Poor Star Wars. Poor Star Wars.
Find out. I don't know. I don't want to get on Star Wars.
We'll have to bring up the Star Wars next time. All right, for our final topic, let's talk about encouraging people to come out and play. What it's been like. How difficult has it been getting the people play? What we've been doing to get people out to play. And, trying to grow our community and stuff like that.
I think the hardest thing is it really just comes down to people not aware of what to bring.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think that's the hardest thing about it is, because if you talk to a new player and they're like, what do I buy? Like my Andrew, my little nephew. I mean, I was like, because he likes Popper. And
so before our recording got cut off, we was talking about Popper, but we're going to just try to wrap it up here and talk about how it's been trying to get people to come out and play, and the things we've dealt with. We've lost places to play. We've lost. Me putting money and time into AppalachiaTCG and making a sole proprietorship, being able to offer cards to people, I think that's going to help. We still got, look, there's the AppalachiaTCG store, but then there's the AppalachiaTCG community. But I just, trying to get people out to play and them finding out about it has been a hassle. We've been, upgrade the web server, the website. We got that going. Word of mouth is big. Tony has recruited, I don't know how many people just because of word of mouth. And, events and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I always talk to people about it. I encourage people, too, with it, especially with anybody I know has trouble reading. I know a lot about that personally, but I think it's wonderful to get newer people, especially young kids, into it. So I'm always trying to push that side of it because people have trouble with that kind of problem. They need to have something they get into. And,
I got one more topic after this, and we'll, sorry, go on.
But besides that, I mean, that's one reason I push, and with the younger people and stuff like that is need to have a place you can feel welcome at too. But we also live in a small town, and there's a lot of questionable activity goes on in small towns.
Well, I was going to. That's what I was going to touch on a little bit. So the biggest thing is like we'll have like the older generation come in, and that anyway, we'll have the older generation come in, and I'll have like a big box of trading cards, and that has been the biggest question to me is, son, what in the world are you doing? Is that baseball cards? Is that basketball cards? I'm like, no. I said, this is nerdy trading card game. But what people really don't realize is and the older generation, I'm trying to help the older generation understand. I mean, I'm old. We're old too now. But I'm trying to help even the older generation understand we're not playing devil worshiping games or something like that.
Oh yeah. Send an email to my uncle.
So I'm gonna try to wrap your head around for the older generation. What is Magic the Gathering? What is Flesh and Blood? What is Pokemon? It's really, when it gets down to it, it's a strategy game. Like it's basically another chess. I know everybody kind of knows what chess is. You're making decisions to kill the other guy. That's basically what it is.
But
you're doing it with cards.
Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Flesh and Blood, all of them that's a strategy game. You need to be looking 2-3 moves ahead all the time in Magic.
Yeah,
especially in Magic.
And that's the same thing chess is. You got to be wanting to know what your opponent's going to do, what you can do to counter that. It's basically the same thing. You got to do a lot of reading. I understand, like, so when the older generation looks at us, they're like, why in the world is this 40-year-old man playing these card games? Like, I get it. It's weird, I guess, in a way, but we enjoy it. Like, it's not, I've never been a hunter. I don't care if anybody hunt. I don't care if they blow little rabbits' heads off. Like, whatever.
What's any different than them playing poker?
No, poker's a very strategic game too, and I enjoy poker. Like, I don't. So that's been hard too. Is kind of like wrapping people's head around what we're doing, like, or why we enjoy it. It's just it's no different than playing a video game, and I
think it's funner than a video game.
I do too. Because you get the social aspect, and like it's no different than getting together and playing Rook. If you ask me, it's like zero. Rook is a strategic game too. It's a multiplayer game. Rook is closer to Commander than Flesh and Blood is to Commander. So in a way,
I mean, the older generation, they're backwards.
Yeah. So, I mean, they ain't never been rude to me or anything, but I hate when somebody stops me and I know they're like, what in the world is this old man doing? I'm 40 years old almost. I'm 37. I turned 38 in a month. And I understand, like, a lot of people, like, they look at it and they're like, why is this man, 40-year-old adult, playing card games? But they have World Poker Tours. They're playing card games. That's a card game. I like poker. Like, I have nothing against poker. It's not a traditional card game, I will say that, but it's a card game.
So, but I mean, go back to, for newer people, younger kids and stuff, with the reading aspect of it.
It helps.
I mean, it helped me. I mean, it's been mind blowing how good it's helped me. I read a lot.
That was one of the reasons I said to the library when we first wanted the library and a place to play. Is like we told them it gives people reading comprehension skills. Like, you have to be able to read the card to do something. Like, you have to, like, it builds that. It makes you read. It makes you critical think. It's really good for kids, and it's good for adults. It's just good, like, overall for your mental, like, strength.
Yeah, I mean, struggling, especially in the reading community and stuff like that. I mean, that also goes back to mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it will drive you up the wall. And I still struggle and I still misread a lot of the cards still.
But think how far you've come from the beginning till now, Tony.
I mean, it's daylight dark.
Yeah, it's like I could tell you've improved reading from since we started when we actually started playing the Magic, when we went to page 3 till now.
Yeah.
You've gotten way better at reading.
Oh yeah, I mean it's daylight. I still make mistakes, and but I don't think a lot of that's my fault. I think it's just how they word stuff on the card.
Oh yeah,
So
I get that wrong all the time.
So I would look at it and I'd be like, that does this, and no, it don't do that. So
I don't know. I always it was just the other night when we was playing the armory at the farmhouse. We was had to ask somebody. I was like, dude, this reads weird. Like, is this how this works? And everybody's like, maybe.
we'll roll with it.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I think this is episode 14. I think.
That sounds right.
I think it's episode 14. I don't know what the name is this episode. What's a good name for this episode? But
Rambling.
The rambling. But I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Come check out AppalachiaTCG, the community, and the store now. Woo! Mini card store. We're based in Syersville, Kentucky at 1506 Rolton Road. Check us out. We're all over Google now. We're on the Google business page. You can check out the website. You can find our Facebook group. Join that. You can post if you want to sell cards, if you want to post Magic the Gathering, if you want to talk about Pokemon. Nobody cares. Post it. Please post it. I mean, I feel like me and Tony's the only one that ever posted anything.
Yeah,
I don't mean to spam it, but I'm just like, nobody else is saying anything. But we don't care if you post stuff. Back in the day when we first started it, and I still want this kind of rule, is like we don't really talk about video games. We don't care that you play video games. Like that's more in the Discord. You can talk about video games all you want, but in the group we want to talk about card games.
Yeah, or tabletop.
Yeah, tabletop games. Like if you want to come in there and talk about Rook, I'd be more. I just don't want to, like somebody tried to join our group and started talking about. I don't know, some video game, and I was like, dude, I ain't jumping onto you or anything. He's like, but this ain't really that kind of gaming group. I was like, but feel free to post it, but you're not going to get much feedback from it because this is more like Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood, and this is tabletop gaming. And he's like, oh, and he just left. I was like,
yeah,
I was like, okay.
And everything. But besides that, I mean, I think.
Like, I want more people to post us. I feel like I'm the only one. Me and Tony's about the only ones that post anything, and I wish more people would post so we could reply back. Just talk in the community.
But I think the biggest part I like about the group is what I've seen with the group so far is the people from. The board game people.
Mm-hmm.
Them was awesome. I saw Joe Meads.
Yeah, Joe and them. They've been coming down to Flesh and Blood all the time Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lot of them play Flesh and Blood there on Monday, East Kentucky.
I've been. I still want that.
Omens of Destiny. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people, we spend a lot of time on the internet, on some kind of electronic, and it's just so nice, maybe not be on there.
Yeah, I'm for getting out and talking and hanging out and stuff. Just getting away from the internet. There's a meme that floats around. You used to get away from the real world, get on the internet. Now you go to the real world to get away from the internet. But
Besides that, I mean, this has been a very good episode.
Yeah, this has been a big, long episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, come check us out. Come support AppalachiaTCG. Share our group. Share the channel. Share Tony's channel. Share. We need help. We're trying to grow something cool here. And hope you guys support that. And we'll see you guys in the next one. And check out Just Take 3.
Yeah, hopefully this week I will have some new videos put this week.
You're already dreading it. I can see it in your face.
Yeah, I need to get back into it. It was fun, especially the card of the day, the question of the day.
Yeah.
And some of it was only like 30 seconds long, but there's still a lot of work went into the topic. That was
people
crazy.
Think this because you create like a minute video, it took like a minute to do it.
No.
I wish that was the case.
It took. I think the quickest one I've done was it took about 30 minutes. I'm sorry.
Oh, it takes 30 minutes to create a short. Like it easy, and that's rushing through it. If you took your time and made a good short and like you done all the editing yourself and you done all the texting yourself, it would take you hours to make. Like if you want to put a lot of effort into it, it would take an hour or two to do a really, really good short. But just the editing. Then you got to render it too. It's like you can record, but then you got to render it with the stuff on it, and that takes time. Whew. Got so much work to do.
So hopefully this week I will at least start the card of the day.
Yeah.
Back, and I should have a long form, and I think I'm going to talk more about what has happened the last 2 weeks. So.
Sweet.
Okay.
Well, guys, thanks for checking us out. AppalachiaTCG.com. Check out our podcast, AppalachiaTCG Podcast. Just Take 3 at the Smango. We'll see you guys in the next one.